Wow, PHNX Sun Devils, the first one to go from our new Studio A. I feel like this cold open's got to be something memorable, something big, something people will talk about for years to come, Totri.
Yeah, I think you should just start throwing it back. Happy Monday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri. That is my passenger princess, Erik Ruby. We got the deli man behind the Mac, and well, we're in some new digs.
Whoa,
Rubus. I mean, first show of any show that we've got here at PHNX in this studio. It's because we're ranked number 11 in the country.
Yeah, also because we are the only show that would ever start off the entire life of a new studio by having one host to tell another host to throw it back.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I didn't tell you. It was more just like a suggestion.
it was like again, we wanted to make an impact.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something that will be remembered forever. I think that cold open will go down in history.
You know how I know that our new run here in this new studio is going to be successful?
Tell me.
Because I didn't have to tell you to turn your volume down on your computer. It was just already down. So I think that means we're good to
do
go.
You want me to turn it up?
No, I'm good. I'm A-okay.
I can turn it up.
If you turn it up and it's just, I think you should throw it back. Oh my goodness.
I want to tweet, I'm throwing ass on PHNX Sun Devils right now.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and you drop
Nobody
a
does it like us.
5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Leah with the first show in this new studio, LFG. Sharon in here saying studio looks incredible. Of course, we got Lee Corso, Parker Allen, M, bunch of Sun Devil fans in the chat. Parker saying right off the bat, should we be worried about Sam Leavitt's turnovers in practice, or is the defense just that good? I'll answer that question, but first, here's a quick rundown of what we got going on today. One Arizona State Sun Devil landing on a preseason AP All-America first team. We're going to tell you who it was. We're also going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the history as to why Arizona State fans usually are a little scared or terrified to see a number next to ASU's name. But yes, we'll get into your question, Parker. I have seen a couple folks on social media that are a little bit nervous or wondering if they should be maybe a little bit scared as to why Sam Leavitt has been throwing as many interceptions as he has been doing in practice. A couple different reasons from my estimation. First and foremost, we've been telling you all summer how good this defense is. I was telling folks that were out there for the first time today the same thing. The defense is going to be this good. It is going to be a top 3 unit in this conference. It should be a top 20 unit in the country. That's not just because of the starters, but also because of the 2 and 3 deep, the talent that you have in a Sun Devil uniform that goes beyond just the starters, right? You've got not just guys like an Xavion Alford and a Keyshawn Elliott and a Clayton Smith that are returning, but you have guys that are in the 2 and 3 deep that are back. You have a Zach Swanson. You have a Rodney Bimage. You got a number of players who are still familiar with the system, even though they didn't start. That is part of the reason why you are seeing Sam Leavitt, Jeff Sims, some of these other quarterbacks turning the football over as much as they are doing it in practice. I think also another big reason why is, hey, it's practice. If we are going to start taking shots, if we're going to give some of these guys an opportunity, if we're going to maybe throw the ball a little bit awkward this time, if we're going to try and fit something in and take chances, I mean, that's what practice is for. Right, to do those very things. So I wouldn't be concerned by any means with any of the reports of Sam Leavitt throwing, a couple interceptions. I know he had a couple today, one that went for a pick 6 in 11-on-11s with Montana Warren. But again, I wouldn't be too worried by any means. I know there are some folks that saw the whole Camp T scrimmage and they were scratching their head a little bit about that, but it goes hand in hand, right? Sam Leavitt taking chances, taking shots in practice, which is what it's for. And also, again, the defense is going to be that good.
Yeah, I'm terrified. No, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I also think that Sam Leavitt's the epitome of like a game time player.
Yeah.
And you think about it even like last year where you were leaving Camp T and the conversation was, can Sam Leavitt rein in his deep ball, right? Like, can Sam Leavitt put enough touch on his passes to not, turn the ball over or overthrow his receiver? And there are just certain things that it feels like when he is between those lines and the game is on, like he's fine. Like he's dialed in, he's locked in. And I do think at the end of the day, it is just this Arizona State defense is going to be one of the best in the country. And when you go against that defense over and over and over again, and that defense also goes against you over and over and over again, like with how good and talented they are, they're going to figure Sam Leavitt out because Sam Leavitt's got like this dynamic element to him as a quarterback. But you are going to at least be better at playing him. Again, they've seen Sam Leavitt, and this is the same starting defense as last year, right? So they've seen minus Shamari.
Yeah.
They've seen Sam Leavitt in practice for now going on over an entire year straight, right? Every single day. You're going to be able to get a little bit more comfortable against him, and you'll probably be able to read him a lot better than opposing defenses are going to be able to read him with a week of prep. I'm not worried about it. That being said, we have talked a lot about how this season there is no room for Sam Leavitt to start off kind of slow like he did last season. New studio, we're not bringing back the old graphic, but if you know, you know. But this year with Tyson, with Leavitt, there is no Cam Scattaboo, and I know that it's frustrating sometimes when people boil down Arizona State won't have success.
Whoa, they won't do what now?
Whoa. Whoa.
What are the Sun Devils doing?
If we know anything about this school.
Yeah. Welcome to Arizona State.
They say Arizona State won't have success because they don't have Cam Scattaboo. That being said, when you start the season now, it goes how Sam Leavitt goes, right? So a warm-up period for Sam Leavitt or a period where he's kind of getting adjusted would be a lot harder to overcome this year with how this offense is designed and how much weight is on his shoulders versus last year when Cam Scattaboo was there. See, now I'm all messed up.
It's thrown out.
I tried to save it, didn't save it.
Sam doesn't get phased under pressure. You clearly do.
No, this is bad. Bright lights, not meant for me.
Studio. No, I agree with you. I think Sam is a gamer. In every sense of the word. And like, in all honesty, like even if this team comes out in the first game or two of the season and Sam Leavitt is taking some extra chances and those do result in INTs, like ultimately, I don't think it is going to be the craziest thing in the world. Sam Leavitt did a marvelous job taking care of the football last year. We've heard Kenny Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo talk at length about the importance of being able to have extra possessions and not give extra possessions to opposing teams. This offense is going to be fine. It feels like it's been a natural conversation or a natural like follow-up to me saying, oh, well, the defense has looked really good. The defense is going to be this. Is people are always like, oh, but what about the offense? What about this? What about that? Like the offense is going to be fine, right? And part of the reason why this offense is going to be just fine, not just because you have Sam Leavitt, but because you have Jordyn Tyson, who was named to the preseason AP All-America first team this morning. One of just 3 wide receivers to make that first team. Ohio State's Jeremiah Smith, Alabama's Ryan Williams, and then, of course, your Arizona State Sun Devil, Jordyn Tyson. First team preseason all wide. I mean, a wide receiver. It's just it's crazy that we're at this point to like Arizona State has one of those players again. The last Sun Devil to be on one of these teams was Rachaad White back in 2021. So it has been a little while, and for ASU fans to have this turnaround, for ASU fans, I think as kickoff approaches to be having maybe this like, oh, but is the offense going to be as good as the defense? Is it going to be what we think it is? It's going to be fine. You got Jordyn Tyson.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously I'm nervous about everything, but no, I think that everything is starting to feel a little bit more real now that we get closer. I mean, we're in week 0. There is going to be college football played in less than a week.
Can we just real quick?
I know. I feel like we've buried the lead here.
Can we all Ric Flair woo on 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Week 0. We
made
it.
And
We
I mean,
did it.
also not just week 0, but week 0 with like really big Big 12 implications.
We did it. What did Dora used to say? Something. We did it.
We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray! And then
Something in
And then
Spanish.
we did it in Spanish.
Yeah, which is we did it. Yeah.
David in the chat says, "Is this the new studio?" Nope.
This is actually just our garage.
Yeah,
we're
moving
home.
into Totri's place. This is actually how he decorated his living room.
Not bad. Right?
No.
Not bad at all.
Maybe a little overboard. You know.
You think?
Maybe.
I think we could have.
You're not even a Cardinals fan.
Yeah, we made it to week 0. And I was looking at some of the
Lo hicimos.
what is it?
Hacemos?
Lo hicimos.
I don't think that's how that's said.
That's how she says it.
Los hicimos?
Lo
Hicimos.
Lo hicimos. We did it. That's what she says.
We did it. Yeah.
Eric, listen to the song.
I mean, this is
You're looking at
maybe the best 15 minutes, the best 15 minutes of content that we've ever
been
put
live
out.
for 11.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, we started late.
Well, I mean, 15 minutes, the stuff going on pre-show,
was elite.
was pretty good. It was
You
pretty
had
good.
to be there.
The Jordyn Tyson stuff is, I think, again, it just speaks to the talent that you have on this team. Of course, we'll get into the history of kind of what Parker was starting to show off, like, as a worried Arizona State fan, and I think there is, some history to that, and there's some reason why ASU fans are like that. But before getting into that, like, I think it is important to just, again, like, Arizona State fans have a top 3 wide receiver in college football, potentially the number 1 draft eligible wide receiver going into next year's NFL draft. A guy that had 75 catches, 1,101 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns, averaged 14 plus yards per catch, and he missed the Big 12 championship game that was an onslaught of the Cyclones. He missed a CFP game against Texas where we feel like he would have certainly been involved heavily. He missed, pretty much the entire fourth quarter against Arizona.
Should I read off his stats for the beginning of the season too? Because I still think that that's the most insane thing to me. That when you go back
started the year
and you look at Jordyn Tyson's season last year, and you're like, how did you end up with over 1,100 yards? Week 1, 49 yards receiving. Week 2, 7 yards receiving. Week 3, 120 against Texas State. Okay, that's good. Week 4, 33. Like, in his first 4 weeks, he had 49, 7, and 33. Then he had 120. He's Jordyn Tyson. But still, and he missed those 2 games at the end of the season and part of the U of A game. And I still can't believe that he put up the numbers that he did. And I think the most exciting part is that you're going into this season and you're not saying Jordyn Tyson save us, right? Like, yeah, you're one of the best wide receivers in the country, maybe the top draft eligible wide receiver, at least in our eyes, we think he will be, but you're it, right? Go save us. Our offense is you. Well, he's going to be the mainstay of the offense. Well, he's going to be the biggest part of it. You have so many weapons around him and a great defense to keep that offense on the field. Like, maybe the only downside of having such a good defense is that the offense is going to get tired.
Well, one thing that is crazy about those first 3 weeks is you look at the stats and you're not blown away. But what worked in those first 3 weeks for the offense? What was
literally just running the football?
Yeah. And he was a huge part in that.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I think that's valid.
And it's not like a special teamer where he's your best player, so you don't want him to block. No, because I think blocking is, if not one of his strongest attribute. Like
he
loves it.
He literally has said over the summer that he would rather get a pancake than score a touchdown.
I still remember 2 days after Hines came onto the staff last year, or in the spring, whenever that was.
It's spring, yeah.
Spring. The second or third practice we were out to, Jordyn Tyson took somebody off the field
into the coolers,
past the sideline into the coolers, and didn't stop and pancaked him so damn hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is your one. That's your number 1 wide receiver doing that.
He loves it. He's just somebody that I think, like, you get in today's era of college athletics specifically, And there are so many skill guys that just want to score, right? That just want the ball in their hand, that aren't necessarily team players, regardless of how flashy they are. Jordyn Tyson is not that type of superstar athlete. He's the type of player that, like we've said, out at youth camps is going out and being like, yeah, like I would much rather block somebody into the water cooler, take them to the bus stop than score a touchdown. And he's like, he could back that up. Right, like
he's so strong.
He was benching what?
He was
300
benching 300 plus. He was benching what like defensive linemen were benching, and he also like ran like 25 miles per hour.
He's going to be a problem in this conference, and all of these awards that he's getting, I think, are just continuing to stretch the narrative that, you know, he deserves this. That this is going to be a big year for an Arizona State wide receiver, potentially the first Arizona State wide receiver to ever be a finalist for the Blitnikoff Award at the end of the season. Potentially, you know, a top 10 pick, and potentially a wide receiver that could help lead this Arizona State offense to places that they've never really been. And you know, I want to get back to what Parker had to say earlier in the chat, asking about the concerns about Sam Leavitt. And it's not just Parker. There are a lot of Arizona State fans, specifically on social media, some in the chat, that are a little bit nervous for the start of the season. Maybe not the whole NAU part of it, but nervous for when you get to conference play, and realistically just for this 2025 season. And there's a valid reason behind why the ASU fan base is a tad bit nervous for kickoff in 12 days. We'll tell you about it. We'll tell you why Arizona State might be able to break that curse on the other side of this quick break. Of course, this is the PHNX Sun Devils show, where we're talking all things Arizona State, which makes it perfect because Mountain America Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Arizona State University. Make sure you take your finances to new heights with guidance from Mountain America. We tell you all the time how everybody needs a checking account. This guy, that guy, everybody in this office needs a checking account. And we know Mountain America Credit Union, well, they do something that nobody else does. They've got some built-in benefits to their checking account, but it's beyond that. Make sure you guys visit the Mountain America Stadium at ASU to experience the legacy. And Mountain America supports hundreds of student athletes and the community. Donate $250 to support university athletics for every field goal made this season, providing $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes each year. Sponsor a shoe donation program to award brand new shoes to community members in need. Mountain America, dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. Make sure you learn more at macu.com/ASU. Insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit.
To pay a lot more in field goals this year. You want to know what makes APS different?
Tell me.
APS doesn't need to advertise. APS doesn't need to do nice things for you. Like, most of the time you have to use APS if that's the energy supplier of where you live.
Yeah.
But APS doesn't just want to be a service. They want to service the community, and they want to make sure that they're helping you out, which is why they have the smart thermostat, which of course is amazing. And I used it this morning when I woke up hungover and I needed to turn the AC down and I didn't want to get out of bed. I used my smart thermostat via my phone, right? And you could adjust your smart thermostat from anywhere. And of course, they don't need to give you APS cool rewards, and they don't need to make sure that some of you might be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 when you enroll in APS cool rewards program. Listen, APS wants to make sure that they're helping the community, not just there in the community. And that's why we all love APS over here at PHNX. And if you already have a smart thermostat at home, like us, see if it's eligible to enroll in cool rewards. Plus, free install is available at the link in our video description. Must be an APS customer, pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information.
Make sure you hit that like button.
Do it.
Hit the subscribe button.
Please.
If you're listening on audio, 5-star review, wherever you get your podcast.
Keep running.
Rubus hungover on a Monday, huh?
Ooh. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
brutal.
you sprinkled that one in there.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It is
I'm
brutal.
not
It's a
gonna lie.
horrible way to start your week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's tough.
Is there anybody you want to throw under the bus here?
Myself.
Just yourself.
This is a hand up.
As is you.
This is a I'm washed, I don't still got it
Yeah.
type of deal. I went over to Noah, another producer. I went over to his place yesterday, and we're just
Ripping.
having a good time.
Yeah.
And
Got out of hand.
no, I wouldn't even say it got out of hand. It's just like I got over there in the afternoon, so we just got an early start. And then we were like, oh, wow, fridge is empty. Who would have thunk? I got up at like 6 o'clock today, and I was just like, ooh, my.
It's one of those pounding headaches.
My head
Do
hurts.
either one of you, before we carry into this conversation, and this might be a perfect segue to a season hangover conversation that we're going to have. Do either of you have, like, if you wake up supremely hungover, like any things that you guys absolutely have to do to try and relieve it? Do you have any go-tos? Have you tried anything that doesn't work?
I like a nice hot shower.
Really?
That's
You're a
what
hot shower
yeah,
guy.
this morning, I chugged about like 45 to 50 ounces of water, took some ibuprofen and got in a hot shower and just was in there for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all?
And it worked. I mean,
if it worked, it works.
I still have like a headache, and I'm still like, and these lights are kind of like, but you know, it helped enough to the point where it was like, all right, like I can function, because I was not functioning beforehand.
Yeah, water's that's the, like, there's no cure to a hangover. It's drinking water. Like, that's all.
Another beer?
You're hydrated. Yeah.
That's the cure to a hangover.
Yeah, I used to subscribe to the big breakfast thing, like greasy big breakfast. I used to always go to an unnamed deli that would just,
as the deli man, yeah.
it would get me right, but I would also like then feel kind of horrible and and then throw away my day. So, you know what actually I do that does help, and it might seem insane. Going for a hike is the best.
Sweat it out.
By far the best thing to do, because you just reset you almost put your body into shock the whole time you're doing it, and the whole time on the way there you're like, this is horrible. I hate my life. 10 to 15 minutes in, you feel great.
Yeah.
So you just gotta recycle, oil change. Get
it's
the
a good oil
bad
change.
sweat out. Get the good sweat in.
Every few thousand miles, got to get that changed. Honestly, I'm somebody, I always have like the disgusting migraine right behind the eyes.
Yeah.
So I always get like a little ice pack or a bag of ice, like just right here. That helps.
I hit the ice pack before the hot shower.
Yeah, you need the ice pack, and then my gym has a sauna, so I'll go there for like 15 minutes. Then I'll do the big greasy nasty breakfast.
Big greasy nasty breakfast is awesome.
It's that trio. I'm good in a solid hour and a half.
Yeah, if you do a big greasy nasty breakfast, BGNB.
Yeah.
If you do a BGNB, I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
After a workout, then you're set, because you're again, it's oil change.
Yeah.
But if you do it during it, you're just putting more bad oil into bad oil.
If you're eating your big
release all
greasy
the other
breakfast
oil.
while you're working out,
It's
that's
tough.
probably not
It's
gonna
tough.
work out for you.
No, absolutely not. Now you know why back in the day when I was doing those solo shows, why those sunglasses would just be
Dude,
ripping
I wanted to wear
times.
the sunglasses, and Shane got mad at me.
M says pho.
Dude, pho's so good.
Yeah.
I want pho
I
right
haven't
now.
had pho in a while,
Like,
to be honest with you.
Wanna get some pho.
spicy food, that helps too.
Ooh, we should eat some pho on the show.
Should we just leave, go have lunch, or
Yeah.
just leave the stream going? Hey, can you guys watch the new studio for us for a second? We're gonna go grab some
We'll be
pho.
right back. No, look, on the note of a hangover, I think there are a lot of Arizona State fans that are slightly worried that the Sun Devils will have a hangover from a really successful 2024 season. And history tells us, in all honesty, that that's exactly what this fan base is in for. Dilly talked about it on Saturday after the scrimmage, where he understands and acknowledged that there is a little bit of a dark cloud surrounding ASU being ranked number 11 in the preseason rankings. He said, quote, "I've showed them the stats on Arizona State when they're ranked top 15 in the last 50 years. What happened? And it's never good. We're facing 50 years of history." So what kind of history is Arizona State facing? Well, it is dark. It is gloomy. It is not good. You can go all the way back to 1998. Arizona State started the year ranked number 8 in the preseason poll. Do you know what their record was to finish that year?
I don't want to know.
They were 5-6 after starting the year in the top 10. The following year after that, 1999, they were number 25 in the AP preseason poll. Do you know what they finished?
After that record?
After that record, do you know what they finished as?
I don't know, dude.
They finished 6-6 that year. 2006.
You know that Damon showed up for this part of the conversation?
2006, they started 24th, and they finished the year 7-6. In 2008, they were ranked 15. They finished 5-7. The most recent year where they actually had serious success was 2014 under Todd Graham, when they were ranked 19 to start the year. That team went 10-3. Other than that, the majority of these ranked teams fall flat on their face. You go back to the Todd Graham year following that 10-3 season in 2015. They started ranked 15th in the country. They finished 6-7. Herm had a team that was ranked 25th. They finished 8-5 and lost to Las Vegas Bowl. This is the first year that
team,
Kenny
bro.
Dillingham has had a team at Arizona State that is ranked in the AP preseason top 25. Of course, at number 11. History says ASU is going to fall flat on its face, Rubus.
You can follow the show at PHNX _Sun Devils. No, who's Chicken Little now? No.
Listen, man, it's still you.
Yeah, I know. No, listen, I totally understand why people would be worried. We talked about it a little bit on Friday, where it's just kind of like, if there's anything that fans in this state know, like, it's heartbreak and it's disappointment. How many times has there been a team, screw ASU, Arizona sports, period, right? How many times has there been a team that you go into the season, you're like, yo, they're going to be so good. Yo, I'm so excited. They're going to be one of the best. And then they suck. I'm on the Sun show. Like it literally just happened. That's why I'm a little worried about the Cardinals too. It's like, on paper, it's like, I think you're going to be good, but like, should I have these high expectations for you? I think with Arizona State, there are just a couple of things that, make it so different than before. And honestly, like, a big part of it is it feels like they have a fresh start in the Big 12. Like, this is a completely new conference for this team. This entire program is completely different from where it was a couple of years ago. And I think that when you have the infrastructure that you've had, and we've spent the whole summer talking about, hey, they have all their coaches back.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, they have a majority of their starters back on both sides of the ball. Hey, they improved their depth. Right. Hey, the school is investing in the football program, right? Like, they're doing the NIL stuff right. They have guys who want to be here. Like, there are a lot of boxes that are getting checked that I feel like at least establishes like a baseline, right? And I think, like, worst case scenario, honestly, for this team is 7 or 8 wins. Like, genuinely. Obviously, like, catastrophic things happening aside, there's nothing to knock on. Damn. I want to knock on my head. But I think catastrophic stuff aside, like, I don't see any way where this team doesn't win 8 games.
I mean, there is a way, and like, I think it's weird.
Did we switch bodies?
I know.
What is
like,
going on?
well,
What's up with it's in the studio?
I think it's valid.
It's Freaky Friday.
I think it's valid. It's
Freaky
right?
Monday.
Like, if you go back and you look at some of these Arizona State teams, like, again, picked at the start of the year as the number 8 team in the country and finished like not even bowl eligible, right? You're a 5-win team. Like, there is certainly a path to this happening, and we've seen it all the time at Arizona State. And I think that's also part of the reason why this is such a monumental season, specifically a start of the season, right? Why you got to start fast, why you got to start the way that this team did against Wyoming in 2024 with a pick 6 and just absolutely crushing like any hope that they had of winning that ball game, right? You need to go out there and create your own confidence. And I think for the Arizona State fan base, we've seen a lot this summer, and there are a lot of fans in the chat that maybe aren't this way, but there are also some fans in the chat that are this way, that are like, hey, I don't want to be ranked, right? And I've seen it all the time since we've been doing the show with ASU basketball, is Bobby Hurley's teams, they enter the top 25, and then what happens the very next game? You get blown up by 40 to San Francisco, right? Like, this,
God, that game sucked.
This does happen, and there is like a real reason to why this fan base is worried. Yes, we talk about the starters returning. Yes, we talk about great players on this team. Guess what? The teams that were picked to start the year at number 8, the teams that were picked to start at 25 and 19 and 15 over the last 50 years, guess what? They had great players too, right? They wouldn't be picked to finish where they are if they didn't have good players. Those coaches on those teams, like, ultimately, they had some good years at Arizona State. Todd Graham had back-to-back 10-win seasons, and he had a team that pretty much fumbled an AP preseason top 25 squad. We know Dennis Erickson, some of the runs that he had at ASU. Dirk Cutter, not necessarily as, giant, amazing seasons, but ultimately still like a decent college football coach. So we can't sit here and just say that, like, it's because it's Kenny Dillingham and Sam Leavitt and this defense, that's why it's going to flip around, because all of those other teams at that point in time could have said, well, guess what? It's Todd Graham coming off a 10-win year. We're going to do what we did last year with a great defense, and that didn't happen. I don't think there's anything logistically that you and I can say up here that would like be like, okay, this is why it's going to get done. Ultimately, it's up to these guys, right? To like be different, to go set a different standard for this fan base. We can't sit up here and tell you, Jordyn Tyson, top 3 wide receiver in college football. Sam Leavitt, future first-round pick, future NFL quarterback. Kenny Dillingham, greatest coach in ASU history since Frank Kush. We can't say all those things and it carry any real weight unless this team actually like closes that awful history book that this fan base has been forced to read over the last 50 years.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who hit you in the head with a hammer over the weekend and knocked the positivity out of you.
It's not knocking the positivity. I am the most positive person when it comes to
no, but now you see
Arizona
how it feels.
State.
Now you see how it feels.
No,
last week where I was like, oh, I don't like here. These are things that could be in the way of ASU, and it's like, oh, this guy's falling.
This is different.
Eric's shaking in his pants.
This is different, man.
And now you're like, oh, something could happen, and it's like, oh, really? Do you believe that? Now you know how it feels. I get what you're saying though, and that's why.
Jeez, Megan. What the hell are we doing here?
That's crazy.
That's just uncalled for.
Out of no, from the top rope.
I mean, put her in timeout. Yeah. Also, I do not look that much smaller than you. No, you really don't
look that much smaller. So,
that's crazy. That's just uncalled for.
She followed it up with a short Kings rise up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need the backhanded compliment on the end of the I look small next to your husband.
Yeah, that was just from the top rope.
Happy Monday to you too, Megan.
Yeah, that was crazy. Hi. I look at last year, and there was a team that had really high preseason expectations, and then started off the season slowly with wins, but slowly, including barely beating NAU, having a bad game against New Mexico in week 1, and that was the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be the Arizona Wildcats. You don't want to follow up a really good season with disappointment and questions. And there's a lot that's different about these two programs at the time.
I'm pivoting this. No. Stop it.
What?
That's irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant.
I'm just saying.
It's a coaching change. It's completely different.
No, again, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's a big difference between these two teams.
Then don't bring it up.
I'm still bringing it up.
Here's the
thing. Did you know they were down 10-6 at one point in that game?
Yes, I did, and that was a great point.
Thank you.
No, not that. It was just a great point in that game for me, to be honest with you. Yes, Shane.
Here's the thing. Yes, you can't just say, oh, because it's Kenny, but you kind of can. Because everything that we've heard, everything that we've seen, everybody we've talked to that has been around this team, that has been around this program, that has been around college football, has talked about Kenny like I've never heard anybody be talked about.
Yeah.
It isn't just a qualifier. It isn't just a, yes, this is, it's Kenny. It's sure they're not going to disappoint. But you can have a lot more confidence than you've had in the past years. 100%.
You can have a lot of confidence, but I still think like it's up to Dilly and this team to change the way people think about Arizona State. Yes. And they have to do it with a successful season. Am I confident that Arizona State is going to make a bowl game this year? Absolutely. Am I confident that Arizona State is going to be in the Big 12 championship this year? Absolutely. Am I confident that this team can make the CFP? Absolutely. And that strives from having Kenny Dillingham, Sam Leavitt, Jordyn Tyson, this defense. Yes. I'm confident. I think this fan base, for the most part, is confident. But even with that confidence, there is still that level of like, okay, and maybe there's people that are confident that don't feel it right now, but they will. There will be a point at some point early on, unless they absolutely beat the brakes off of NAU or they just mollywop Mississippi State at the start of the year. There will be a point in this season where the fan base early on is looking at like a 3rd and long in a pivotal moment, or they're looking at a turnover, or they're down 10, where they're like, well, here we go again. And it's up to this team and this coaching staff to erase that mentality, and they have to do it by starting fast.
100%. Like if this team wins 8 games, which I've said before, I think that would be disappointing. Like after what you did last year and how many people you have come back. If this team wins 8 games, I'm gonna be disappointed. But there's also a lot of paths to do that, because one, the 1-score games, and I know I'm on the side, like, you win a lot of 1-score games, it says more about you than it says about luck.
Yeah.
1-score games can flip very easily. The football is oblong. Like, it bounces different ways. It literally does. So you have small factors like that in everything. But also, the Big 12, underperformed pretty heavily last year.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why college football doesn't have many repeat champions. It's the most open it's ever been.
There's parity.
There's so much parity, and you hope you benefit off of it, but there's a lot of room to drop because of how many people underperformed in different conferences last year.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's like a lot that we can still unpack.
Well,
we've been unpacking in the studio.
It's a good thing that we have plenty of time left in the show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And guys, the conversation is going to continue right after our second break. I am amped for the return of not only college football, but professional football. Say what you want about the Arizona Cardinals. We are doing a PHNX Cardinals residency at Gila River Resorts and Casinos next week. It's going to be an absolute just baller time. I'm excited not only to listen to Joe and Bonnie, what did I say? Joe and Bonnie? Have you done that same thing?
I call them Joe and Bonnie.
Joe and Bonnie.
When they're being
Bo
dramatic,
and Johnny.
When they're being dramatic, they're Joe and Bonnie.
Talk cards.
We can't speak in this
but
studio.
Also,
we
like,
figure that out.
I'm amped for that fantasy draft that we do at Wild Horse Pass. It's a ton of fun. If you saw it last year, make sure you come out. It's going to be a kick-ass time. But also, just check out all of the locations that Gila River Resorts and Casinos have. Whether you want a steak dinner, you want to win some money at the sports book, or maybe you just want to hang out and vibe playing some table games. You could do all that and so much more at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Something you always need to remember is you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
We're just giving out new names and nicknames around here.
Joe and Bonnie.
Can I be Mr. Shade? Because I do love shade. I love it so much. And that's why I love all pro shade concepts. Now, obviously I could tell you about the benefits of getting, a roll down patio shade or motorized awning and keep your patio up to 20 degrees cooler in the summer. But have you seen how cool these things look? Like, they just look cool. Like, even like
Can't you put like lights and stuff on
Yeah,
them
you can
too?
put lights on it. They got a bunch of different fabrics and colors. You can get a manual one or one that's motorized with a remote control. I mean, not only do they look cool, not only do they extend your outdoor living space, but you're going to get it from somebody who is trustworthy because they are the most trusted local shade company, voted #1 by Ranking Arizona for patio shades in 2024, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and of course, over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google. So write down this number right now, 623-204-1476. That's 623-204-1476, or visit allproshadeconcepts.com right now to schedule your free estimate.
M says new kicker prevents a lot of those one-score games.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's going to make it easier for Arizona State to win close games, in all honesty. But and somebody had tweeted this out earlier. I wish I knew exactly who it was so I could give them a little bit of credit. But like, they were talking about how Arizona State and the computer models having ASU, as a worse team than maybe the human projected models, right? Than the APs. Have ASU as like the number 11 team in the country, while like the ESPN FPI or whatever has them in the 20s, right? And why that is. And it's because if you look back to last year, ASU was almost a version of two different teams, right? You look at the back half of the season, it was a dominant team that took care of business on the road against Kansas State, at home against BYU, back on the road against U of A, demolished somebody at a neutral site in a championship game in the Cyclones, and they went on the road and hung around with a really good SEC team. But you look back to the start of the year, and it's kind of ironic that you have let's throw up the Sam Leavitt, like, here's this and here's that, half and half season, right? Because at the start of the year, this was a team, if you remove the Wyoming game, each and every one of those games has like, okay, what happened, right? Because even the Mississippi State game, where they won and they jumped out to a big lead. The second half of that game, Arizona State was hanging on, right, to that lead for dear life. Ultimately, they got the dub. You go to Texas State. They start a little slow. Yes, the passing attack looks better, but hey, Texas State's loading the box. They know you want to give it to 4. Arizona State squeaks by at the end of that ball game. Then you start conference play. You're on the road. Texas Tech. Couple of miscues to start the year. Tech takes care of business at home, right? And then ultimately you get to Cincinnati a little bit later on in the year. And there are just a couple of versions that we saw of this Arizona State team last year. And guess what? As much as we talk about, the defense is back. Sam Leavitt's back. Jordyn Tyson's back. This coaching staff is back. it's going to be up to this team to realistically only be the second half version.
They don't have a choice. Like, there's literally no other option for this team if they aspire to really do what they are saying they want to do.
Yeah, you can't play like that first half team.
Make the college football playoffs, right? Like last season, just the fact that you were winning games was in its own right this incredible thing that you were extremely happy about. It didn't matter how you were winning them. Honestly, you just wanted to win. You just wanted to beat Wyoming. You just wanted to beat Mississippi State. You just wanted to beat Texas State, right? Because I remember when we were predicting the first 3 games and we were like, hopefully they can get 2 wins. Maybe they're 3-0, but then Big 12 play starts, right? Like, you can't afford to have a slow start. Like the Sam Leavitt graphic or with Jordyn Tyson, or even with, Kanye Udo, right? Transferring over into a Power 4 conference and playing big time football now and against a lot harder opponents, for sure, right? You don't have the time to just adjust anymore. Mm-hmm. You have to, from week 1, snap 1, to the end of the Big 12 championship, and you have to dominate, because you're also not going to get handed a bye this year just for winning your conference. You got to earn that bye. And I mean, it's lofty expectations, but it's certainly something that could be on the table for Arizona State if they walk in week 1 against NAU and they don't look back and just start dominating week in and week out. That is something that is on the table for this team, right? Jordyn Tyson is on the preseason All-America team. I know there are a couple other guys.
First team.
Nobody
else made the list.
I know there are a couple other guys who are expecting to put their names on the list at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And that only happens one way. And you have to be better than expected, and they're expected to be the 11th best team in the country. That's a high bar, and they have to clear it.
Michael Manichat says there's no precedent for building and sustaining a college football program in 2025. Past examples might as well be European rugby. And this extends the conversation about Arizona State and being competitive, not just this year and, living up to the expectations. But mm-hmm. I think there is a little bit of a precedent in, or maybe not a precedent, but it does feel like there's a little bit of a blueprint, and that has to do with retention, right? Kenny Dillingham spoke at Big 12 Media Day, how recruiting's pretty much dead. We want to retain our players, right? And I think that's why you've seen Arizona State get as much preseason love as they have, right? Nobody returns as much talent that they had in 2024 than the Sun Devils, other than Clemson, which, hey, guess what? Clemson's also in the preseason top 25. So
top 10.
So when you look at building a college football contender year over year, sustaining a college football program, Arizona State is in quite literally the perfect spot. And that's not just conjecture. That's not just me saying it from a biased perspective. That's if you remove the walls of bias here, okay? They've got a young up-and-coming coach that has been an offensive coordinator at a bunch of different stops, including a perennial powerhouse in Oregon that was just running the Pac-12 offensively for a very long time. Went to the ACC, Florida State, helped rebuild Memphis, went to Auburn, all these different places, and comes home. Right, comes to the place that he wants to be, his dream job at Arizona State at still a very young age. So he's seen success, right, and is here for the long haul. Well, you go get an OC in Marcus Arroyo and a DC in Brian Ward that are some of the most experienced, play callers on opposite ends of the football in this sport currently, right? That also want to be here. You retain a defense. You've got a young quarterback that fits the mold of what Kenny has done before, right? There's a reason why people comp Bo Nix to Sam Leavitt. They have very similar play styles, and a lot of it has to do with the offense, right? So you're able to bring back your young gun quarterback for another year. You're able to get a wide receivers coach on the outside that is one of one in college football as a NFL Super Bowl MVP future Hall of Famer, right? No other college football program has that. So you have all of these little things that go hand in hand. And I think part of it, again, when we talk about building a college football contender and why it's so important to try and erase that narrative of, ASU's ranked means they're going to fall flat on their face, right? Is because these guys year over year are going to hear that, right? Part of the fact that goes with the, nobody has more retention in college football than ASU than Clemson is all of these guys, for the most part, were on the field in Atlanta when Sam Leavitt threw an interception and their season ended, when they were a play away, when it was 4th and 13 and busted coverage, Quinn Ewers throws a touchdown. Those guys were there for that. You don't think that gives them a little extra juice? Things that the books can't necessarily factor in to their win totals, things that AP voters can't necessarily factor into their votes. These guys have a little extra juice, right? And so whether this team wins a national championship this year, or they get bounced in the first round of the CFP, or they lose the Big 12 championship game, retaining these guys year over year keeps that juice, right? And that's how you build these programs, the things that kind of go beyond what you can do with a 4 and a 5-star in recruiting. What goes beyond getting a premier quarterback in the transfer portal, or, exchanging your offensive coordinator for a new one. It's those experiences that these guys have had with each other, right? I think that's what is just widely important into building a, competent contender every single year.
Well, and there's another thing about an extra layer to the retention that I think is important, that I think we need to talk about. And we're going to talk about it right after our final break.
I don't know if you guys know this. UFC 319 did not disappoint. And part of the reason, those pure edibles, they had me riding all the way to the moon. I felt like I was watching,
You were in the octagon.
I was in the octagon watching those fights.
You were definitely on one, because it did disappoint.
It did not disappoint. Oh my goodness, guys. Pure edibles.
Come on, I've just sat on them the whole time. It was horrible.
The experience of UFC 319 was certainly uplifted by pure
He wasn't even watching
edibles.
319. He was watching 247.
Pure gummies. They're not covered in sugar like all of their competitors, but do they taste like candy? Absolutely. They're a full-fledged candy company offering gummies, kicks, which are their version of Starburst chews, soft candies like caramel, and then hard candies as well. Pure offers gummies for sleep support, as well as those candies with uplifting effects, especially if you're like me and you want to elevate the sports watching experience. Well, get yourself some Pure edibles. They were designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them super easy to share or easy to dial in your exact dose. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Listen, we are looking forward to August 30th, but you need to write down another date, and that's October 31st. Now, why?
Halloween.
Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because NASCAR Championship Weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway on October 31st through November 2nd. And if you've been in Phoenix long enough, you know we've seen it all when it comes to the biggest sporting events in the world. But if you've never been to Championship Weekend for NASCAR at Phoenix Raceway, you are missing out, because it is unlike anything that you could possibly imagine. You're going to see 4 champions crowned in 3 days. That averages out to more than one per day at Phoenix Raceway. Plus, if you're a NASCAR fan, you get the best access in all of sports. A small ticket upgrade, you're in the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience, up close to the garage, meeting the drivers, walking the track, catching the pre-race concert, and it's the best value in sports, hands down. So don't miss your chance to witness NASCAR Championship Weekend in person. Coming to Phoenix Raceway October 31st through November 2nd. Tickets for Sunday's Cup Series Championship race sell out every year, so move fast and get yours now before they're gone. Here's the kicker. NASCAR is taking Championship Weekend on the road starting in 2026, so this is your last chance to catch it in Phoenix for a while. Tickets, hospitality, and upgrades are all still available. Get yours now at the link in our show notes.
Wes Bezzi in the chat saying we got to put belt to ass early and often this season to show that we aren't just a fluke, but a program that will be a problem for years to come. Absolutely. That's what all great programs in college football do. It's belt to ass from the opening kickoff. And it doesn't stop when you put in those 2 and 3 deep. It becomes like just an actual game at that point.
It's an expectation that even your 2 and 3 deep are going to go and whoop on an NAU.
Or at least that's the case this year. Is your 2 deep and 3 deep are better. They're more experienced. So it should be that all the way through. There was a question earlier from Devin Horn, I want to say, asking about the media team edit. I don't know if you saw it, the media team edit, but here's some of the photos. If you haven't seen it, go on Twitter and look at this from Devin Horn. These are just ASU's creative team is, I mean, they're top 2 in the A2.
They've been on one this fall.
Yeah,
they've been on one for a couple of years in a row.
Yeah.
And they just keep getting better.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, is that they keep
quality
getting
stuff.
better.
It is super quality stuff.
So I mentioned that there was another reason why having this type of retention and having the amount of players returning is impactful, because you have to have a certain mentality to be on this team. Like this team, like everybody who's here wholeheartedly wants to be here. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even if you are in that 2 deep, the 3 deep, even if you're not, right? Even if you're at the, the end of the roster, right? Let's say that you're
on
just
scout team.
You're on scout team, right? Or you're a freshman, a true freshman who's not going to play, right? You're probably going to redshirt, right? Listen, every single person that walks in and out of those football facilities every single day wholeheartedly wants to be there. And they know that they left something on the table last year. And they know that fans are scarred from the last 100 years of disappointment and not being consistent, especially multiple years in a row. And they know that only one other team has gone back-to-back as Big 12 champions, and they're not even in the conference anymore. So some people might look at last season and say, oh, well, shouldn't they just be satisfied because they shocked everybody, because they went on this miraculous run, they won the Big 12, they were college football's darlings, their sweethearts at the end of the season. And at the same time, everybody in that building is so unsatisfied with what happened. I mean, we were there, man. Like the emotions, the rawness after the games, and like the win at the end of the Big 12, and then losing in the Peach Bowl, and the crying, and the we have unfinished business or whatever. Like they care, and they want to be here. And they won't let anything get in their way. And when you can look to your left and look to your right and say, I know I have the same goal as that person, individual accolades aside, and I know that they're going to go all out and give their best for the team, and I'm going to do the same. You layer that on top of just some of the best talent in the Big 12, some of the best talent in college football. Like, again, there are no excuses for this team. And that is why it's so scary. Because you can break everything down and we can spend shows talking about how Arizona State fans are scarred, or here's everything that could get in the way of Arizona State repeating as Big 12 champions. And we come to the same conclusion at the end of every damn show, and that's that there is no excuse for this team to not kick ass this year.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. The expectations are high. The fan support is there. The talent level is there. All the coaches are retained. Like, the Big 12 is tougher, but it ain't tough to the point that you can't look at this roster and say this isn't the best one out there.
It was supposed to be tough last year, right? And to Shane's point earlier, the Big 12 wildly underperformed last year. Like, we were having real conversations about Ollie Gordon potentially being a Heisman candidate at the start of last season. Oklahoma State didn't win a conference game in the Big 12. There were legit conversations that I had of like, okay, Kansas feels like it could be a top 10 team this year. They could be a team in the CFP. Kansas fell flat on their face for the majority of last year. Utah got a 7th year of Cam Rising, who just ended up dying on the field, and that was that for the Utah Utes, right? Arizona was a top 15 team to start the year, and they had a horrendous Brent Brennan, worse than a Brent Brennan special. Like, it was a conference that ate itself alive. And I know that there's been the whole thought of like the Pac-12ification of the Big 12. But this conference has always kind of been like this. It's always kind of torn itself apart, especially from the middle to the bottom when Texas and Oklahoma were at the top. Well, guess what? There isn't a Texas and Oklahoma at the top now, kind of like we talked about last week. This conference and Brett Yormark, they're looking for that team. They're looking for that program to be the next Texas, to be the next Oklahoma. And this year and next year are going to be pivotal if Arizona State wants to actually take that claim of, hey, we're not just a middle-of-the-pack team in this conference. We run this. We run the Big 12. All those Texas schools, that's fine. That's great. TCU, Tech, all of them. Baylor, go spend your money on your recruits, your transfers. Doesn't matter. We retain our players. We get who we want. We get players that fit the system. We keep our coaches, and year over year, we run this conference.
I mean, again, the pathway is there. You know, they already accelerated their success with their surprising season last year, and that's just presented them with even more of an opportunity to go and snatch the Big 12's chain. Like you need
chain snatching.
Like you need
Dilly the chain snatcher.
Dilly the chain snatcher. You need to make a statement, right? And that's why week 1, most people will look at it as a nothing burger. Right? Like, oh, who cares? It's NAU, whatever. But there will be some demons exercised from this fan base if ASU shows up and doubles up the Wyoming ass kicking, but against NAU, right? Because it'll feel real. And that's what real contenders do. That's what great programs do, is they don't take a second off. And when your backups are in, when your third strings are in, they're still putting belt to ass.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to. And they'd be starting on NAU if they were on NAU. And that's why I just we're in week 0 now, right? We are almost there, Totri.
Yeah.
We are
I can't believe it. We're 12
so
we're 12
close.
days. In 12 days, Arizona State will run out of that tunnel. They'll touch the Tillman statue, and we'll have Sparky crush a bus, and then we'll play some football.
And we'll be there.
And then we'll be here talking about the game.
Literally in these seats.
Probably getting you hungover again.
Not on the show, but I won't be hungover on the show.
You won't be hungover on the show, but the things that we do on the show will probably
get me hungover
lead to your hangover.
I don't know, dude. I'll have some fun. I will not be in the mind state that I was in last night on our post game shows.
Were you in a bad mind state?
No, I was in a good mind state, but I was just.
Was everything okay?
I was.
Oh.
I Ubered. That's all I'm saying.
That's good.
Sorry, no free ads.
That's good. That's important.
You public transported.
Yes, I unnamed public transported around. But no, I think that we're going to be sitting here in 12 days, 12 and a half days, because it'll be at night. And we're going to be having a good time.
You're so annoying.
It's going to be a great time. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the week 0 games. I think you're going to learn a lot about this conference really early on. I mean, Kansas ultimately plays 2 games before Arizona State even kicks off. So they've got 2 games in 12 days here. I think who do they play week 0? Is it
who again?
Kansas plays, I want to say Fresno State maybe this weekend. I know you've got the Kansas State Iowa State game, which is going to be a 9 a.m. kick. That's going to be
Kansas plays game. Fresno State. Yeah,
Fresno State. God, I think you're going to learn a lot about all these teams, man. I'm excited to see UNLV this weekend, a team that is pretty much just a rebuilt version of ASU.
ASU reskinned.
Yeah, yeah. There's going to be
Iowa State, Kansas State.
College football is back, man. College football is so back.
Yes, it's week 0, but can we talk about the real thing?
Thing.
It's also game week for somebody else. Me and Ruby.
We have
our intramural basketball league.
Wow,
that starts
on Wednesday.
Wednesday, and I am in terrible shape.
Do you know what time the game is?
No.
I literally have no idea.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not checked our roster since I had started it, and I haven't looked at that website since I started it, so I should probably take a look.
Who determines who starts and who sits on the bench?
I do.
You do?
No, just kidding.
I know at least 2 players who will be starting. It's Ayrton and his friend Jeff.
I think it's just a vibe thing. I think
just a vibe.
We'll get there.
Shane's got the center bump because
I call me fat.
You got a center bump
because you'll be the tallest on our team. I'm pretty sure. God, we're gonna have massive lineups.
Did you just call me a tall merchant?
Yeah. We're gonna have some massive lineups, like you and Ayrton just wingspanning it up.
I feel like it's ultimately a pretty small team. No. How tall are you?
6'4".
That's a small center.
Well,
this is men's league, not the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, just throwing it out there.
I think we'll actually have a pretty tall team. Good team, yet to be seen. Tall team, yes.
Brought this up as a joke. Didn't want to actually break it down.
No, we're breaking it down.
Guys,
no, look, before we get out of here, we could talk a little bit about what we saw at practice today. Again, Wade Helton practicing with first team, team tempo, getting those center reps. Ben Coleman also taking some from first team reps at center. This is, again, just an ongoing type of swap every single day, it feels like, with Ben Coleman and Wade Helton. I do think if I had to make a guess now that you'll know who the starting center is by Monday of next week.
And you think it is?
I think it'll be Wade Helton.
That's what I'm feeling.
And you'll have Ben Coleman as your starting left guard, which I think ultimately shores up the rest of this offensive line. I'm comfortable with Wade at center. But again, I think you're just going to kind of want to see what that first game of the year looks like. More realistically, you're going to want to see what Wade Helton looks like against an SEC defensive line against Mississippi State. I think that's where you're going to learn a lot about this offensive line as a whole. So we'll see what happens at that center spot. I think, again, this defense and the rotation is really, really solid. Montana and Kendrick Breedlove are still going back and forth in that rotation at nickel. If I had to give you an answer on who starts game 1, my answer today would be Kendrick Breedlove, but my answer tomorrow might be Montana Warren. That's how close these guys are in terms of the edge rushers. Justin Watley, Prince Dorba, 2 players that are rotating in at that starting DN spot. similar to like the wideout conversation about Malik McLean and Jaron Hamilton. I don't think it really matters who starts because you're going to see all these guys so much at these respective spots. The only real starter that I think is going to ultimately matter at the end of the day in these positional battles is who's starting at center. And if I had to guess, I think it would be Wade Helton.
Yeah, I feel like now as we're getting closer, you wouldn't be working him in that much if that wasn't the plan. I don't know. I mean, I think that's the only thing in week 1 that it's like I'm really going to be keeping an eye out for that is going to be those 2 positions that you mentioned where we don't know the starter for sure yet.
Yeah.
Right? It's the nickel and it's the center.
Yeah.
And no matter who it is, they should be more than good enough to handle NAU. And I think it'll be a good test, game reps against some lower level competition. And let's see what you can do. By the way, 9:40 tip off on Wednesday for our game. Just so you know. 9:40.
Oh my God.
Gross.
Glad I did not sign up.
That's the latest it can be though, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, tell me that's not the grossest thing ever.
That's tough.
We're on West Coast.
Pac-12.
Yeah, but this is real.
Pac-12 tip-off, guys.
Shane should thrive.
Yeah.
Shane should thrive.
No.
We're on Pac-12 time.
Pac-12 After Dark. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Hit that like button, the subscribe button on your way out. And
Shane was like, I got something.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I'll use it as my as always.
Okay. If you guys enjoyed today's content, let us know in the chat what you think of the new studios. Give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils on social. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow my passenger princess here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Bringing up great points as always. Sharon goes, hilarious that they're playing Farmageddon in Ireland. I'll leave you guys on this. What is this, 1845? That's when the potato famine was in Ireland. We'll see you guys later.
I'll see you tomorrow. Go Devils. In peace.
We all silly like the mayor.